But let's go ahead and finish this. And it says, and now verse 8. Now notice this now. Notice this in verse 8. He said, and then shall the wicked, and this word wicked is capitalized, be revealed. The wicked shall be revealed. In other words, of course, again, when you look at the word wicked, this is 459, anomos, and anomos means lawless. All right, not subject to the law. In other words, without law is another word that it gives as a definition. Lawlessness, transgressor, same thing that we just talked about. And so this wicked that will be revealed is one that does not hold true to the commandments of God. In other words, he has no morals about himself. He has no morals, not only him, even the system that is going to be ran in that day. Although right now they're talking about sharing, they're talking about justice, they're talking about redistribution of wealth, and all these particular things, globalization, one nation, one world, you know, and all things in common. They talk about one religion, tolerance, and all these things. Now, as we look at sharing, we know that's a good thing. The Lord tells us to share. We know justice is a good thing. The Lord tells us to be justice in our judgment, to show justice and to cry out for the widows and the motherless and the fatherless and things like that, and the orphans. So we know that's good. All right, but one thing, we can't tolerate everything, and that's why they call us bigots. That's why they call us extremists and words such as that, intolerant, you know, and that. So we can't tolerate everything, people. And so when you begin to tolerate everything, that you fall into the line. You fall into the line of unrestraint. That means you have no restraint about yourself. That means you're willing to do everything. And that's what's going on in the church right now today. We are tolerating every single thing. We're allowing people to come in, especially when it relates to music and worship. We allow people come in that are living double lives outside of the church as it relates to homosexuality and lesbianism. And so we let these people come in and play on our organs. We don't ask. I mean, we look at their lifestyle, and they haven't pledged their allegiance to Jesus. All they're doing is coming in, playing, making money, going right back out to the club. Even some playing in the club. So my thing is this: we cannot tolerate that type of lifestyle openly in the church. Matter of fact, we know that a person just got caught up not too long ago. As it relates to a bishop in Atlanta, Georgia, even in the Catholic Church, some priests have been caught up with sexual immorality. And so these things are very much prevalent in the church. So that's why we can't just tolerate everything. Now, I'm not saying there should be a way to reconcile these individuals if there's a way. If there's a way to where they pledge their allegiance to Jesus, pledge their lifestyle to him. So that's why that's why the Bible even says it like this: just because you say Lord, Lord does not necessarily mean you getting into the kingdom. Just because you do great miracles, great signs, and great wonders does not necessarily mean you getting into the kingdom. All right, because we know the enemy can do that, and we know from Revelation chapter 13 that he will be doing it. Not only if we keep reading in Thessalonians chapter 2, we'll see that the enemy will be doing great miracles, signs, and wonders. So that shouldn't move us, that shouldn't shake us. And we see even believers today are pressing into that. And there's nothing wrong with that if you're a believer and you're pledging your allegiance to Jesus and you're living a lifestyle that's pleasing to him. So there's no problem with that. But we got to be careful. We got to use discernment, because we have this New Age movement coming up, and we have the true believers, the true Bible believers coming up as well right now, that they're also moving in power. Then you have the New Age movement, who has been empowered by the mystery of iniquity and all signs and lying wonders on this side of the fence. And so it looks like, you know, they're looking the same. And so what is going to distinguish the two? Who's pledging their allegiance to Jesus? Who's keeping his commandments? Who's following after him? And then on the other side of the fence, yeah, they're pledging their allegiance, but it's not to Jesus. But they're also talking about justice. They're also talking about sharing and things like that. But you have to share biblically. All right, you can't take people's stuff and force them. No, Christ don't take anything. We got to do this out of the love of God. And they talk about love, they talk about wisdom, they talk about all that stuff. And so that's why they're looking the same. So the only thing that's really going to distinguish the two is by you living by the commandments of God, because we know they're going to set up this false image in the end time and cause people that worship this image to receive a mark. And so this mark, I believe, is going to determine whether you're walking with God or not. This mark is going to separate those who have pledged their allegiance to this end time empire system, end time satanic system, or who have pledged their allegiance to Jesus. And so that's what's going to make the difference. And so let's keep going here. All right.